Hello everyone, this is another tip of the week video brought to you by Set Communications. Today's tip of the week will be discussing Boxcryptor. Now what is Boxcryptor? It's a software essentially that encrypts your online file, so it's a cloud encryptor. Now the reason you would want a cloud encryption tool is because if your files are on the cloud, for example Google Drive, Microsoft Onedrive, Dropbox, you're going to want to protect them from unauthorized access. Let's say someone gains access to your computer, or if they find out your login credentials to your Google Drive or your Dropbox and they clone it onto their computer, they will have access to all your files. So it is always wise for business people and business owners alike to try and encrypt your files and have optimal security measures. So Boxcryptor is over here. So what you would need to do firstly is go to boxcryptor.com, then to download and download Boxcryptor, install it. And once it's done installing, it'll put a desktop item on your desktop, on your PC. So put an icon here. You could also go to File Explorer, for example, and what happens is it pops up over here. So, but let's just say you go from your desktop. Let me close that. And you go from your desktop here, you double click Boxcryptor. Well, it does the same thing, it brings you to here, to your File Explorer. Now, once you're done installing Boxcryptor, it actually detects all the cloud drives that are in your computer. So for example, my computer has Google Drive file stream, which is Google Drive with team sharing options, and Microsoft OneDrive. So I'll go to Google Drive over here, Google Drive file stream. And we'll work on an example file to show you how it works. So go to the SecComm folder here, and let me go to test file. Now this is actually already encrypted, so let me start from the beginning. I'll decrypt it. So basically the point of Boxcryptor is you no longer go to Google Drive here. There's no need to, because Boxcryptor basically puts them all in one sector under the Boxcryptor icon here. And you just work on your drives from here. So I would go back into here, go to my SecComm folder, and let's say this test file, and I'll open it for you so you can see what's in there. And I just wrote the word test, but it's a Word document, so we're going to be playing with that. So if you right click Boxcryptor and you go to encrypt, sorry about that. Go right click Boxcryptor. Actually, my apologies. What you do is you right click the file, and then you go down to Boxcryptor, and you choose encrypt. So again, let's say this is the file I want to encrypt. I right click it with my mouse, scroll down to Boxcryptor, and I choose encrypt. And now you can see it's encrypted. How can you see it? Well, there's a green square in that file there, which there isn't over here. But if you see here, there's a green square. Let's say you want to select multiple files, so I can go like this, and I can right click them. Oh, sorry, actually I selected a couple files that are already encrypted, so that's why. Let's say these ones aren't. Now I right click them, I click Boxcryptor to encrypt, and I can encrypt multiple files. Do I want to encrypt all my folders? That's not a problem. I can select them all. I can go to Boxcryptor, right click, and then go to Boxcryptor, then encrypt. But for this video, and for our purpose today, we'll be testing it on this file, testfile.docx, which is a Word document. So I just encrypted it. So now, let's say I go over to my other computer here. Let me go to File Explorer. Oh, well actually what happened was I have it encrypted with file name encryption. What file name encryption does is it actually puts a bunch of random characters so you can't even see what file it is if, for example, you're a hacker or you gain access to my drive. So you can see this is the actual file that I encrypted, the testfile.doc. But let's go back here for a second. And how did I do that? Well, I went to Boxcryptor. I right click it, go to Boxcryptor, and choose Settings. Now in settings, there's all these tabs, right? There's locations, which has my drives, groups, which is my company group, and the security tab is the one you want. Now what I do here, I enabled file name encryption. Other options here, password protection. So If somebody were to gain access, they want to open it, they need to know your password. Pin protection, you can add that as a second layer. I type in a pin, and if I want to decrypt it, I need to know the pin number. If somebody wants to access the file, they need to type in the pin number. Hide files/folders with names which cannot be decrypted. That's basically some certain files and some certain folders, if they have any special attributes to them, they can't be encrypted. But what this does is it hides those files. So if someone were to gain unauthorized access, they wouldn't even be able to see those files that can't be decrypted. But what I did here was enable file name encryption. So when you encrypt a file, with that setting in place, you end up getting a bunch of random characters that hide the file name. So let's say I uncheck that, right? I checked it, let's say I uncheck it. Close that, go back to my Google Drive. I'm going to decrypt it. And when you decrypt it, it asks, are you sure you want to decrypt it? Since Boxcryptor decrypts your files on the fly. You just click yes. Let's say decrypt it. Well, now I decrypt it. Watch this. In just a moment's time, as it decrypts the file on this other computer, where I don't have Boxcryptor, by the way. So this computer has Boxcryptor, as you see there. This computer does not. And the purpose of me showing you two computers, one with Boxcryptor, one without, so you see what happens when you encrypt and how it protects against a computer that doesn't have access or should not have authorized access. And now you see testfile.docx, it's now accessible again. It was decrypted. You can now access it again. But now, let's say I encrypt it again, but without the hide file name setting. Go right click it, Boxcryptor encrypt. It's now encrypted. You can see the green file in the green square in there, sorry. Let's go back to this computer. Once it finishes encrypting, you'll see that on this computer I will no longer be able to access it. And again, this is the computer without Boxcryptor on it. And the only way to actually install Boxcryptor is you need to have an account and you need to know your username and password. You cannot lose that password because then your files will be encrypted forever. So there you see it, testfile.docx.bc. It is now encrypted. If I try to open it from this computer, it tells me, how do you want to open this file? Well, guess what, you can't because it's encrypted. And that's it for Boxcryptor. Now, let's just say you want to send a file encrypted. Boxcryptor has a feature, so let me go back here. Now, because the file is already encrypted, I can't send this file. I have to decrypt it first. Let's just say I don't want to encrypt this file, but I want to share it, and I want it encrypted. I want to send it encrypted, so that I make sure if it, let's say, by accident I sent to the wrong receiver. I typed in I made a typo with the email, and the wrong person received it. Well, it's going to be encrypted, and the only way to decrypt is with a password. So even if you sent the wrong person, or let's just say, I don't know, you sent it, you sent to a group of people, but you only want one person to access it, and you accidentally sent to multiple people. Well, the good thing is only the person with the password will be able to decrypt it. So Boxcryptor has a service called Wisply. The website is whisp.ly. You could just type it in Google, and it'll be the first result, Wisply. I click that. Now, with a free account, there's some limitations, but it's limited limitations. So let's just say I were to send here, I don't know, FedEx, here, BNI event.xlsx. Now I upload it to Google Drive because that's what I have. If you have Dropbox, you can upload it there. Okay, let's just say upload it to my personal email here in eval3. Now what you see is it's encrypting it. It's encrypting the upload, so yeah, here it's going to tell me I'm using the free version. You do have to wait until this timer says I can proceed on the free version. If you have a Boxcryptor account, you sign in here and then it gives you all the features of Wisply. But I'm showing you here on the limited because you don't necessarily need it. out of paste description, but here you click proceed. Now it tells me how long do I want this link to expire in. The free version only lets me choose 12 hours. You can make it a one-time download, so the second the person downloads it, the file is deleted and no longer accessible. You can't do that though on the free version. So the free version, you can't have a one-time download. The only option is wait till 12 hours and it'll expire and delete it. I click proceed. You now have three options. You can send a link. You can send a link and a PIN number, or you can send a link and a password. So let's just say I do link and password. You can type in a password. Let's say here. I set the password. Oh, don't need that. So now you can send this link. And what happens is now it generates a link. You can send this link either through email to the person you want, to the receiver on the other end who you want to share this file with. You can send them a text message with this link, or you can copy it to clipboard and then paste it, for example, in an email yourself or through WhatsApp. And then when they click that link, it's going to tell them, when they paste that link and they access it, it's going to tell them to receive your file, please type in the password. And that's the password that I created over here in the password set. And you need to give them that, so you can send them that, through WhatsApp or through text, or also through email. But that's essentially how you would send a file encrypted, and then they would decrypt it on the other end. So that's basically the tutorial today. It's both Boxcryptor, which is a great tool. It's an enterprise level tool that encrypts your cloud files so that unauthorized access is not made possible. Otherwise, you can also send unencrypted files through Wisply, which will encrypt them for you, and then you can choose your method of encryption, of how to decrypt it for the receiver end, and then that's how you can transfer files encrypted. I hope that helped. If you have any further questions, feel free to call us at 1-866-GET-SET, or send us an email at info@setcom.ca. Thank you.